Greetings, YouTube. I'm going to be talking today about a post put up by Freddie Clark over at the Slacktivist entitled Gracious and Cordial. I'm not even going to bother to point to where my title is, because by the time I finish this video, who knows where YouTube's going to have put that title. And it deals with how some evangelical Christians couch the terminology they use when it comes to discussing the gay community. And I'm going to be reading a passage from that, and then I'm going to make some comments about it. This particular passage deals with a couple of evangelical preachers. Anderson and Giglio want you to understand they are not at all like the infamous homophobic preacher Worley. They're totally different. Worley wants to deny LGBT people their basic civil rights and legal equality because he hates them. Anderson and Giglio want to deny LGBT people their basic civil rights and legal equality for other reasons. See how very different they are? Same political agenda, same desired outcome, same fundamental discrimination enshrined in law, but Worley is mean. Anderson and Giglio are gracious and cordial. They're nice. And evangelicals like Anderson and Giglio have it up to here with people not recognizing the extreme importance of that distinction. They share Worley's hateful goals, but not his hateful sentiments. So how dare anyone compare them? And I think this really speaks to an entire mode of thinking when it comes to how people couch the terminology and language of discussing civil liberties here in America when it comes to the gay community. If someone's holding up a sign that says God hates fags or fags die, something along those lines, it's really easy to understand their sentiment. It's right out there in the open. It's very plain. It's ugly. It's unattractive. It is very obviously discriminatory bigotry. And I appreciate them being so obvious. It makes making sure that they're not going to be hiding in the darkness so much easier. However, when someone says something like, homosexuals should not share the same rights and privileges that heterosexuals should, that's a very pleasant statement. You could say that kind of thing in church. In fact, I think it is said in church. But because it sounds so nice and pleasant and cordial, it's often ignored at the fact that it's just as ugly as the sign that says, God hates fags. Just as ugly. Just as demeaning. Just as discriminatory, and just as bigoted. And until people understand that the intent of their language, their goal, their purpose, is more important than the language they use to discuss it, I'm not sure if they're ever going to get the message from the rest of us who are saying, no, we won't accept your socially conservative agenda that you're attempting to push upon America. We will not tolerate it. Doesn't matter how nicely you turn a phrase. Doesn't matter how pleasantly you may deliver your message of bigotry and hate. It is still bigotry and hate. So I just want to make sure that people understand the language they use, the language that they try to transmit to others, is as transparent sometimes as they think it isn't. They think it obscures their message, but it doesn't. We're listening. We're smart. We can see through what they're saying to the message behind those words. So I'm going to ask my viewers today, if you have encountered any similar sentiments, have you encountered any messages that come across as pleasant, as well turned, but in actuality hide a goal, an agenda that is ugly and should be right out there in the open? I want to know, because the more we know about how these people speak, the better we can be at pointing at them and saying, no, we will not accept the message that you're trying to deliver.